Hey, how are you doing, boys and girls? Welcome back to some more Grey Zone Warfare. Today we're going to be focusing on a beginner's guide, just getting you into your game, how to select missions, how to get to certain areas to complete your missions, how to mark things on the map, how to call in helicopters, all the things which may feel a little bit overwhelming and what it took me a little while to just get used to when I first started playing Grey Zone Warfare. This should just kind of just kickstart you off, and then we'll go into more details into other things later on in other videos. So the first things first, I am actually going to talk about our settings because we do want to make sure that your performance is the best as possible. This is not an in-depth settings guide. This is just going to go over some of the ones which you should select. We're going to go over to the little settings cog. We're going over to graphics. The first lot is going to be more like a preference and setting your kind of overall monitor up and resolution. I always have it at my native, which is 1440p. I have it on windowed full screen because I like to switch between monitors easy, especially I stream and record Discord, things like that. I like to easily go between them. I really don't notice a performance loss, and I think in kind of 2024, windowed full screen has been improved a hell of a lot more now, where you really hardly notice a FPS difference and input lag difference. So I always run at windowed full screen on all my games. FOV, I'll put mine to the highest. This is going to be a preference thing. You notice when you zoom in and out, you can just see it zooms you in and out. And this is going to be a preference. Do you want to be more zoomed in so it's easier to see things in front of you without having to scope in? Or do you want to have something more zoomed out so you can see more around you at the time? I prefer having a really high FOV, so that's how I select it. Mind you, this will affect FPS slightly, but nothing ridiculous that you should worry about it. Now we're just going to scroll down. I have capped my frame rate to 144. The frame rate background is basically what your frames will be when you Alt-Tab out. For most people, you might want to set this to 30. I have it to 60 because sometimes I'll Alt-Tab when I'm streaming, and if not, they're going to see a 30 FPS change when I Alt-Tab. If 60, they won't notice a difference. That's the only reason why I have mine at 60. I'm just going to go down now. Everything here I have set to low, apart from foliage quality, I set to medium. The difference is with the foliage is when it goes to low, it feels a bit more pixelated, sometimes at distances, and medium just makes it feel a bit more clearer, and I don't have that kind of pixelated weird type of feeling, and so that just goes to medium. Everything else is on low, like literally low. I can't really see too much of a difference, but also it just affects your FPS, right? At the minute, with an early access game like Grey Zone, this is going to be improved a lot. Your FPS and performance is going to be improved a lot when it keeps on getting updated. But for now, having it on low, everything still looks really, really nice. So I have everything on low, and it's going to help me get the best FPS possible, right? Going down to post-processing, I have it on low. Motion blur to none. I have sharpening onto 20 just to make the game look a little bit more sharper. Color by mode off. Color by mode strength 10. And now we go down to the bread and butter, which is going to make your game feel better. Now, myself included, was thinking I should go to DLSS, right? Because I got an NVIDIA card. You don't want to do that yet, at least. You want to go to FSR. The reason being is with FSR, you get a few extra options which are not able to be selected if you go with the NVIDIA route, right? So FSR looks really good still, right? This is grade 8. You don't need to change any of this. I always put NVIDIA reflex low latency on plus boost. Actually, sorry, it's supposed to be, I have it normally on. Fidelity FX frame generation, you want on. This is just going to help your frames. It's going to make it feel a little bit smoother. Basically, it adds fake frames. So this is why it doubles it nearly, or increases it a lot, is it adds extra frames to make it feel smoother. They are fake frames, but it does feel smoother. The only negative is it will affect input lag a bit. But with a game like this, where it's not as super fast paced as, say, Call of Duty, the input lag feel is really not that much of a difference, and it just helps you a lot more when you're navigating around. So Honestly, have fidelity frame generation on if you can. This is what you can play around with in terms of FPS. I have mine set to quality, and that seems to be perfect, but you can go to balanced, to performance. If you do this, just bear in mind that it's going to lower the image quality quite a bit, and I don't see too much of a drastic improvement in FPS, so I have this set to quality. So that is my settings, just in case you ask, and it's just to help you get a little bit more FPS out of your game. Second thing is, the one thing I do want to talk about before you even get into the game and before you create your characters, you want to make sure you choose a faction that all your mates are playing. When you choose a faction, that is the faction you're going to be with for the rest of that season, right? Until it wipes. So if your mates choose a different faction, you're not going to be able to play with them. And so you want to just Discord your mates, talk to your mates, whoever you're going to be teaming up with and playing with, and make sure they're on the same level here and choosing the same faction. I'll have some screen up just to let you know and show you what I'm talking about at the start. But I went with Mithras. That is the faction I'm going with. So for whatever reason, if you are a member and you want to do members games with me, I will be doing members games on the weekends when I'm off, and I will go over and we'll be doing missions, things to try and complete, play together. If you want to do that type of thing, you are a member, please make sure you join Mithras. Now before we get into the tasks and what we should be doing, what should you bring with you in your raids? Now I'm going to go over this again quickly. We'll go into more in-depth versions of this later on down the line. But again, this is just a very kickstart beginner's guide to get you into the game. You want to make sure you bring a helmet, a headpiece to help you with the hearing and hearing footsteps easier, gunshots for example. Sunglasses are not really needed at the minute because they're not higher tier, but better sunglasses will help you with flash grenades and flash protection, but I just have them on there for style. And the knife you can't take off, so I always just keep it there. In Tarkov, you should be able to take this off and then collect knives along the way and sell them, but you can't do that on this one. Obviously, you want to bring a gun with you to find out what type of ammo the gun needs, because you are going to bring extra ammo. You can see here on my tactical and in my secure, I have actually quite a lot of extra ammo. To find out what ammo you need for your gun, if you right click on the gun you got equipped or what you want to bring with you, go to inspect, and at the top here it'll tell you the ammo you need. Just make sure and bear in mind what that is. Also, with the gun you have, you'll see what type of magazine you need for it too. If you can just go to the magazine and inspect it, you can see what type of magazine you need. But you can also go over to the magazines in your inventory and just right click on them and inspect, and it'll tell you what ammo type it is, and that'll be the ammo you'll need for that gun, right? So you can see here I have 3 extra magazines with me ready to go, along with a load of ammo. You do want to make sure you obviously have a rig and armor. This is an all-in-one, this elite. If I take this off, you can see it takes off both the tactical rig and the armor. Now, if you just have armor, it'll go here, and then if you have just a rig, I'll go here. Same type of thing, has space to store your magazines and armor for protection. So we'll go over what is the best armor and all that kind of thing in a later video again too, but I'm just kind of going over the basics. I'm going to be using the Elite 4, which is an all-in-one, both armor and your tactical rig. Obviously bring a backpack with you too. This is a smaller backpack. You can't actually stash a gun inside the backpack, but it does allow you to bring or take a gun from AI or other players you kill and just stash it there. So what I would do when you're in your game, if you haven't found a gun, just pick a gun up from AI and bring it back with you, because you can then either sell it to make money or you can use it as a throwaway weapon. You can see here I have this gun here, an AKM, as a throwaway weapon. This is basically there for me to quickly grab. If I die, I quickly just grab this back at base, go back in. I have a gun with some ammo I can quickly bring with me to go and secure and get my main hit back if I can possibly get it back, right? So I like to have a throwaway weapon. If I do die, just bring back in with me to secure my body again. So make sure you bring a backpack so you can loot guns to make money or to put in your stash to use later on. Now, you also want to bring food with you. I've got extra food I've had from looting from before, but you do want to make sure you bring at least a meal and some water to keep your hydration and energy levels high. I've got a tactical here to store more ammo because you're going to run out of ammo quite a bit. You want to make sure you bring ammo with you. Now, a little short tip for you, if you don't want to use or spend money at the start when you're trying to learn, I would bring an AK. You should have an AK with you, or at least go in for the first raid and get an AK from a body, from an AI. They are all over the place, right? They're very handy because all the ammo which gets dropped from the AI, you can then just keep picking up more ammo and keep on using and going and about your day doing your missions without having to worry about ammo, because you can just keep looting ammo from AI. So early game missions, you can use an AK if you want to, and just live off the ammo you get from killing the AI, right? So that's one thing just to take a note, little handy tip if you want it. This is your secure page. Anything in here is something you want to make sure you don't want to lose. So in here I've got keys, a key page. So if I find keys in the game from looting AI, I paste it in this little page here. I also have my meds in here, the serve kit and some blood kit. I have some ibuprofen to help with if I'm hurt. I just want to stop the that pain. I have a objective item which I want to do to for my next objective. I place that in there so I don't lose it. So yeah, this is what I placed in an extra ammo for now. If I find something I really need, for example, a item I need to collect for a mission, I would place that definitely in the secure container. I'd move the ammo out and I'd put the items in which I need to secure. That way, if I die, it doesn't matter. I still managed to get the item out and complete that quest. Right, this is a basic of what we want. Now, in terms of healing, you want to at least bring a bandage, a CT, and if you can, if you have this like little cool kit here. Now, I had a few of them in my stash. I don't know how it's going to be like with you, depending on the package you get. But I had some of them in my stash here. I just saw what they did. They look really cool. They look like you can stash extra items with it. So they just look like that. So all I done was I grabbed the L blood and the survey kit and I put it in here, so it just uses up less space, and then I can just stash that in here. So I want to bring up some blood. You don't want to make sure you don't want to lose your blood. All right, if it goes down below half, you will go into a coma, and that means you won't be able to get up. If you are solo, you have to wait for someone to try and revive you. If you're in a team, for example, so you do want to make sure your blood goes down low. So if you're starting to lose a little bit of blood due to bleeding, for example, if you got shot, you want to fix it up with a bandage and then gain the blood back if it's a lot of blood lost. If it's only a little bit, you will start regaining it and you don't need to use it. But if it's getting quite low, use your blood to get that back. Servo kit is helpful for things like if your organs are injured, like hurting or something, you can use that. You also want to obviously use a bandage to help you bandage up your bleeds. I've also brought in a grenade with me. That is preference if you want to bring that. If I got into a fight or I saw someone in a building, I can chuck a grenade over. Maybe some AI are humped up, I can kind of chuck a grenade over. So that's just what I'm bringing in with me as my kind of starter kit. All right. And remember, if you do die, you can go back and get your stuff. And again, that's why I have a throwaway weapon. Okay, so we're all kitted up, ready to go. Now, what do we want to do in terms of tasks? So this is what you want to be doing. You want to be focusing on the tasks to level up your vendors. If you bring up the tab again and go to the vendors, these are the guys who are going to start giving you tasks and missions and objectives, right? Doing these tasks is going to level them up. You can see here with handshake, I've got 0 rep. I haven't done a mission for them yet, right? If you level them up, it gets to level 2, and then it'll unlock better stuff for you to buy. Now, I would 100% tell you to focus on Gunny. Gunny is your weapon guy. You can see here, I've done 1 mission for him already and started to gain a bit of rep. You want to level these up because it means you're going to get into level 2 traders, which means better guns, better ammo to help you deal with the higher tier AI and other players, right? So to level them up, you do your missions. Now, to do the tasks, you just go over to the task page. You can see I've done one already, and I've got one which is in progress. Now, if you haven't got it in progress, you just click on it and click start, and it will add it to your task. Now, it tells you what you got to do here. Mark the body of the mark a location of the body, locate the body. So you just have to basically read through what is needed to be done. If I go over to tasks, you can see it also under here too. So you want to start making sure you complete the tasks, follow the objectives and what they tell you to do, and then get through them and start doing them. So we've got a few tasks we want to do, and we now want to go and start doing it. So I'm going to actually try and complete this one, the first recon, because we have basically nearly done it, and it's perfect to kind of showcase what I'm talking about in terms of just starting to get used to doing the objectives. We've done 2 already when we was exploring, but we haven't found or checked the area around the gas station, right? So it says check the area around the gas station. It gives you some coordinates, 170, 121. I'm guessing that is the gas station at the top here. So this is the mission we want to do. What we'll do then is go over to our map and just remember what the coordinates were, what he asked for. Again, you can just look at the here. Is 170, 121 is where I want to go and mark up an objective. So 170, 121, go to map. You can see here and you zoom in, and you can see, I'll zoom in with this, but you can see above it, it says 170 and 121. So 121 is up this way. So here, this is where it is. 170, 121 is where we want to go. So if you zoom in, this is most probably the gas station I need to go to. So I'm just going to right click on this and add a waypoint. You can see now that it's now added a waypoint. And if I come off, you can see whereabouts that direction it is with the massive little pin. So now we know where we need to go. We've picked up the task we wanted from the vendors. We now need to head over there. And to do that, we need to call in a helicopter. So over here is the helipad, right? So on our base, you can see someone's actually calling something in now, or maybe returning at the current time. I was just flying past. Okay, but anyway, if we want to head to where we want to go on our map, if we bring up the tab again, go to map, we want to head there. What's the nearest place? Most probably L2, Bravo 2, LZ here, right? So the LZs are places where you can fly to kind of quick travel around the map. So this is where I most probably want to go to get to that objective. There's some people around here, so it's most probably safe to call in a helicopter. You mark where you want to go, not where you currently are. So we want to go to here. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to call in transport. What's going to happen is the helicopter is going to go to the nearest LZ to pick you up, which is the base for us. So it's going to come to us. So you wouldn't click here to go and call in a helicopter. You go and basically click where you want to go to call in the helicopter. Same when you leave, and we'll show you that when we do leave. You go to the place you want to, you go to one of these LZs, and then you would click the base, because that's where we want to go, and the helicopter will come and pick us up from the LZ we're at. So we now just got to wait for the helicopter to come, and it'll let us know when it's nearby, and then we can pop in and head over to that area. And there we go. We now call it into ETA 30 seconds. We're going to just pop in here now. You just wait until it comes and off we go. That's now going to go and take us to the place where we wanted to go. Now, I think I actually got into the wrong helicopter. I think someone else called this in. But what you want to do is get on the right helicopter. There we are, blooper there. I'm not going to cut it out. I'm just going to show it to you. But yeah. That is what you want to do, obviously, to get to the area. Obviously, not get into other people's helicopters, but you get the idea. You call in your helicopter. Once it lets you know it's there, you then get in it and off you go, right? I find it a little bit confusing. I've done that a few times where I don't know if it's my helicopter or not, because obviously we have other people too in it, but hopefully they make it a bit more obvious. But yeah, that's what you want to do. You have to call in your ride from base to get to the area. Now, we want to head towards where our little objective is. There is some shots going on around here, so we are going to have to be careful. Can't see anyone at the minute, but there is shots over there. So we're going to just kind of avoid the high areas of it, and we want to just go across here, because we want to head, as you can see, over towards this kind of station. So what I will do is cut to when we get there. Oh, Lee, I didn't realise there was some bot sales being a bit dopey bollocks there. Wasn't even contract, I was just actually going towards the objective. Anyway, we can actually show you how to heal up. So I'm going to get inside here. Make sure it's all clear. Yeah, it is all right. And just kind of show you what I mean by healing. So now we go to health. We can see here it says light wound, light wound. We've got to apply bandages to stop the bleeding. So I'm going to go over here. This is medium bleed. I'm just going to use the bandages to stop me from bleeding. And you can see now it stopped. It just used one use and it stopped the overall bleeding. It does say we were a bit dizzy. It's mostly because we just took a bit of injury here. Now you can see also that the blood is now rising again. We didn't lose a ridiculous amount. If it got a little bit further lower and I thought I'm going to get into another fight, I may end up using my blood kit, right? but we didn't need to do it. Now, if you are feeling a bit dizzy, you can see we've got the dizzy kind of state going. We want to kind of get rid of that. You can. It's now gone, thankfully. But if it didn't, you can take painkillers. If you're hurting or dizzy or something, you want to quickly get rid of it to help you focus. You can take ibuprofen to do that. So we've now just done that. Now, another thing we can also go over is, since we just shot those AI, I didn't hear them. You can see we have now a magazine which has got 0 bullets. If you just drag the bullets which you've put with it and put it in there, you now have them all topped up. That's how you top up your bullets. Just something to keep in mind for you, so you know. Now, we could check these bodies and just see if there's anything on them useful. You go up to them, just press F to use. You can say we will take a gun for us for now, because we could use it to sell. You can just double click on here. There's some ibuprofen that could be handy. Extra ibuprofen. And that's a healing kit, so we can bring that too. And then you can just press tab to exit. You don't have to close everything. So we just looted from him. There was another person we did shoot. I can't remember where I shot him. Just here. Again, go over to him. Double click. He's got some food, so I'm going to bring that because we may need that. And nothing else. So there we go. But that's what you want to do. Just loot bodies when you can, as you can find keys, food, all that kind of good juicy stuff. All right. So we're going to keep on going now. And be a little bit more careful, because I'm so used to being DMZ related and running about like a madman, and that is going to get me caught out at some point. Now, I have only died once, and that was actually due to someone else in my faction who killed me, and I'm going to talk about how you can figure out if someone's in your faction or not in a minute when we get to somewhere of cover. Especially if you hear shooting and you're like, okay, some action's going on over here. I may be getting into a fight. You want to get trigger happy and shoot one of your teammates from your faction. So I'm going to go have a little look over here. We can see there is some people or some AI over here. So we have one over here at the minute. So yeah, we're going to have to be careful. I'm going to kind of run around to the side here. You can use the mouse button, middle mouse button, to look where you're looking when you're running. You can hold Alt to hold your breath. Take out AI if needed. But longer shots. Like that guy there, I think is a person, right? Right? You press M, you can see he's a blue little dot on my thing. That's a faction player. I do not want to shoot him. So they're getting trigger happy. Look, he's immersed as hell. You can press Z to talk to people. How you doing, dude? Friendly behind you. I'm behind you, friendly. But we're now just done that objective because we came to the place where we needed to go. Hey man, just let you know I'm friendly behind you. I'm right behind you if you can hear me. Yeah, he's not having a good time. He's a little bit immersed there. Right, it's a little look. So we're at the place where we needed to be. We've done our task. We now go over. First recon is complete. We can see we're now completed everything we needed to do. We explored the places we needed to go. So to hand this in, we do need to go back to base to hand this in. So you can choose to go on and do other missions. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm actually going to head out and just show you what to do when we need to extract. We've now finished what we needed to do. So we're going to now head out and extract. So where's the closest LZ? We could go back the plate where we came, as we know it's safe, but I'm going to head over to LZ Bravo 2, which is over there. So for this, I'm going to bring up the map again, pressing tab, go over towards it, and just mark a little area near it so we're close. So I know where I'm heading, which is over that way. So we're going to head over there now. There is some shooting going on again, but remember, if you hear shooting and you don't see anyone in your faction, no blues, then you do want to make sure to be careful, because it could be other players. There we go. I'm just going to loot that. You can see at the minute our character hydration and energy is fine, but if you do want to eat some of this, if we go, for example, the chocolate bar, you just highlight over it, right click and click use. It'll start munching. You can see now that our energy's up. Same with drink, right click use, and then gets out the drink, gets that up, top up your energy, and now we're good to go again. We're going to head over towards the marker which we needed. There was shooting over that side, but I'm going to kind of head round. I'm going to head away from that area if possible. So now coming over to the LZ, you can hear people flying in, actually coming over to this LZ at the minute. Now, in the starting areas, it's not going to be as bad. You most probably won't have people camping LZs, but in every extraction shooter, there's always going to be people camping and seeing if they can get a kill or not, right? But what you want to make sure is when you do come to the LZs that you do just secure the area, have a little look about in the bushes, see if you can see anyone around, just in case there is someone camping. But once you get to the extraction, my best advice would be to try and find a bush somewhere. We're going to actually just go in this bush here, bush it up large, and then we can now bring up our tab, go to the map area, and again, we don't want to click here to call in the actual helicopter. We want to go over to where our base is here, and we click on this, and we go full transport. And you can see here it says Raven en route to Bravo 2. So we'll just take a note of what he says, and we'll just wait here until he comes. Now, there is some shooting going on over there. Just bring up the map. Most probably that dude over there highlighted on the map shooting some AI.
Raven here, I'm moving out. ETA 1 minute.
There you go. So it said Raven here, moving out, ETA 1 minute. So we just got to wait 1 minute for him to come over, and he will then come and pick us up. So we'll just kind of cut to that bit when he arrives. Okay, so he said ETA 30 seconds, and I think this is actually how we can figure out what is our helicopter, which I should have used when we left. Our helicopter is going to be highlighted in green. You can see here the other one which I saw was highlighted in blue. This is something that I've just learned myself while also explaining to you guys. So you can see here it's now landed, coming over. We're now going to get on our helicopter. Off we go. And then that's just going to take us back to base, hopefully, as we end up getting taken somewhere else. But I think it's taking us back to base. But yeah, it's doing a circle. Good times. Right, so there we go. So that's going to take us back to base, and I'll then show what you need to do just to hand in your task. And that should at least give you the fundamentals of how to play the game and start learning the playing and exploring. This is what I wanted to do and get out on the first day for you, just to kind of give you an idea of what you should be doing. And there we go. It now drops us off. And you just automatically get off, and there you go. That is now dropped us off, and we're back at base, nice and safe. Now, so just bear in mind, if you need to log off anywhere, you can only need to log off in your base. If you log off outside the base, you will lose your gear. Something just to let you know when you come back to base and why you should be returning to base before you log off and leave the game. Now, we're now finished our test, so we're just going to press the tab now at base. You can now see that we have vendors. Now, you don't go over to tasks. This is what I first done. If you click on here, you can't complete it. You go to vendors and you go to the place who has it. So it's go to vendors and it's handshake here. So go over to his tasks and you see now it says complete, and you can go down here and click complete. And we've now completed it. You now click on open. And you can now see you can collect the stuff which we earned from doing that mission. So we click collect, and then if you go back now, that is now in our stash, ready to go. So there you go. I always use the wallet to stash my money at the minute. So I have all the money stashed in here. But yeah, that's how you do it. That is the overall kind of idea. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about, we did pick up a weapon, right? If you wanted to sell some stuff, so, for example, we didn't need the AK, right? And we don't want to use it. I'm just going to put it in my stash, right? By the way, if you want to rotate your inventory, you just press R and it rotates it. Just basically playing like mini Tetris, but if you press R, you can then fit it in certain places easier. All right, so this is there. We placed it in our stash. We want to sell this. We go back to our vendors and go to Gunny. This is most probably going to be the person who would most probably sell or buy this. You can see if I go to Handshake, I can't sell it. It's blanked out. If I click on it, I can't sell it. Right, it doesn't let me. It says cannot sell to this item, vendor. If I go to Gunny, it does let me sell it. Right, so now I can just kind of either right click on it and go to sell, right, and it's going to put it down here under the trading cart, and it's going to tell me I'll pay $90 for it. Or if you're wanting to do a lot of them, so you're not want to have to keep on right clicking, if you hold control and then click on it and click and click, say for example I wanted to sell these here, you can also do it that way and it'll just transfer over. It's pressing control. I don't want to sell the grips, but I do want to sell the AK. We can click trade. We can now sell it, and now we've made some more money. $90 is there ready to for to trade in. So that is something if you want to do to make a bit of money along the way to help you out there too. So I'm going to keep the food in my items. I'm going to get rid of some of the other things like the med stuff I don't need. The gauze, I think that's for yeah, it's for bandages, but we do have a bandage already. We do have only one use, so I'm actually going to keep that with me. I'm going to keep the food, and I'm going to get rid of that and put that over there. So yeah, we're ready now to go in for our next raid. So I hope this all helps, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below what you want me to cover in Grey Zone Warfare. Like I said, this is a very basic, just kind of get you into the game started type guide, but I do want to go over weapon builds, how to mod your weapons, how to do some of the harder missions, how to, you know, PvP tactics, learning the game, all this type of thing is some things I also do need to pick up and learn myself. So on the way, when I'm learning it, I'm going to be sharing it to you guys. All right. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of the video. If you're enjoying Grey Zone Warfare and you are seeing this, I am most probably live today, and so if you want to see more of this in action, I will be live on YouTube playing this game too. Anyway guys, catch you later, and thank you so much for watching.